No, this is not sarcasm. No, I'm not making a joke. I'm being really serious. And before you start roasting me in the comment section, please hear what I have to say. Remember when you were a kid and you wanted that new fancy toy that had just come out? Or like a video game console? For me, it was the Nintendo 64. Actually, Smash Brothers is pretty dope too. But remember that you were so hyped to get that game, and the moment that you got it in your hands and you played it for a little bit, it was fun for a moment, but then you just kind of got over and you're like, this is it? So don't let the hype overtake you, just like this camera. Don't get me wrong, the camera is dope. It has some insane capabilities, but I'm just going to try and ground you just a little bit. Now, it's okay if you disagree with me in the comments, okay? But you don't have to be a douche while doing it. Real quick, just so you know where I'm coming from. I am a professional photographer and a professional filmmaker. My team and I have used Sony's, Canon's, D-Cams, DH5, Panasonic, Blackmagic, including the Ursa Mini, and a lot more. We try and work with several different companies, like Zhiyun, Epidemic Sound, Pennzoil, Monster, that kind of jazz. It's not a flex, I'm just trying to give you a perspective of where I am coming from. The camera is sick, okay? It has a dope set of functions, okay? I'm not bashing that. I talk more about this in a video up there, but if you don't like sarcasm and can't take a joke, don't click on it. Here we go. Before you get taken off by the Peter McKinnon hype B-roll R5 train that it's so doping, crispy-ing, hear me out. Have you seen Peter McKinnon's B-roll get worse whenever he's used different cameras like the EOS R? Have you noticed a change in his quality? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
That's a Cal Williams reference, but we're just gonna move right on. Why does this quality not change? It's because he knows the tools that he is using. The camera is just a tool, and that can outweigh the importance of any specs of any camera. You know, like composition, lighting, story, color grading. So tech fanboys, relax. Your footage is not gonna get magically prettier because you're shooting in 8K. Here's the reason why I think you should get the camera. If you feel that you have exhausted your gear and you can't step up because your camera doesn't allow you to, then maybe you should get this camera. For me, I shoot on a lot of different cameras, but my daily driver is the Sony A7 III. I feel that I have exhausted it with the colors. I want to be able to stretch them and do some crazy stuff, but I can't do it because it's 8-bit and it's only shooting 50 megabytes per second on 120 frames. I've said it once and I'll say it again, but pretty much 8-bit is a smaller rubber band while 10-bit is a larger rubber band that you can stretch even further. I want to be able to do that. That is not my fault, that's the camera's fault. So that's one of the areas on where you should consider it. You may be saying, bro, why don't you just get it like a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera because that shoots 10-bit. Yeah, it does, but it doesn't shoot stills. I'm a hybrid shooter. I need to be able to do both. I'm just gonna say it, so buckle up for safety, mother.
Buckle up for safety, mother.
Taxi reference? Let's move on. 8K is just a sales gimmick, man. TVs and viewing platforms, they're not even anywhere near the 8K mark. Statistics say that half of you are actually watching on your phone right now, and that image isn't even 4K. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. And since you're watching on YouTube, it doesn't even allow you to even stream 4K even if your phone is some crazy monster resolution beast. It'll only let you see it in 1080. Bars. Tyler, don't laugh at me, bro. I see you in the corner. Another thing to not get taken over by the hype, because this is something that they don't talk about. It is the file sizes. The file sizes are gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge, huge. I've seen it personally, I've seen it. And because we don't even use it. Tyler, do we use 6K RAW?
Nope, we have it, don't need it. Don't use it.
The file size is way too big. Average consumers are not thinking about file sizes, man, because they probably just turn the recording button on for something every like 2 months or something like that. When you're doing it professionally, we want to get the footage, stick it into Premiere, edit it, get it out to the client, and on to the next. Consumers don't get that. After watching Peter McKinnon's video, he talked about it, but I'm gonna be straight up with you. I think that this thing is going to overheat, but only time will tell. Let's just keep going. Another thing not to get hyped up over is the price. Don't get me wrong, the price is dope, but that is still an expensive camera, especially compared to their competition. How much is this thing? 4 grand? If you're focusing just on video, there are plenty of other options that can give you more bang for your buck at that price point. But, and this is a big but, a big juicy but, everything that is being packed into this camera for that price point is insane. What does it do? 40 megapixels? 45 megapixels? That's beefy. But let's be real about it, man. I have shot on Sony and it has a very good autofocus system, but I have used the autofocus on Canon and bro, nothing beats that. I'm about to be that guy, so strap yourselves in, kids, because it's about to get bumpy. It does 120 frames at 4K. That is overkill. Overkill. That's like a Halo reference.
Overkill.
You play video? All right, let's move on. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I bought this Sony A7 III because it could shoot 120 frames. But if I'm being straight up with you, 120 frames is kind of overrated. Now hear me out before all the Peter McKinnon 120 FPS fanboys start freaking out on me. Do I use 120 frames all the time? Yes. Do I like it? Yes, it's freaking dope. Do you use it to its full potential? No. I'll be straight up with you. I don't think I've ever gone down to the full 20% of the speed of its original clip. Like, ever. I can probably count on one hand how many times I've done it. But let me drop some knowledge on you, because the majority of all of the people that you watch on YouTube that are doing some buttery 4K, smooth 120 frames, shut up. They're upscaling 1080p up to 4K with 120. Very few cameras can actually do 4K at 120. So you probably haven't noticed. Boom! All jokes aside, man, all in all, I think it's a great camera. It packs a whole bunch of punch, and I think that it's going to work well for a lot of people. But I just want to share with you, don't get carried away with the hype, man. And as far as the new stuff is concerned, consider if you're actually going to use it. Me and my team, we don't even know if we're going to jump Sony to go to this Canon R5 style. Watch this. Hey Tyler, are we gonna use the 8K if we get it?
Nope.
Hey man, are we even gonna use the RAW capabilities?
Probably not.
But watch this. Hey man, are we gonna use the 10-bit color?
Yes.
So we are actually considering what is going to work best for our workflow. We're not getting rid of our Z cams and other lenses and other cinema cameras, but maybe for smaller budget stuff to pack a big punch, yeah, maybe we will use it. But as you can see, we're evaluating and considering everything. All I'm saying is don't let the overhyped train take you. I've said it once and I'll say it again, story is king. Keep that in mind. But anyway, I think that is it. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe, because that's what all the cool kids are doing. Follow me on Instagram at Keyboard King if you want to see behind the scenes and all of that jazz. Boom! Only the iPad Pros are almost 4K. They're not even 4K. It's the small, you know what I'm talking about? It's like the smaller version of 4K. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know how there's like
True 4K.
Yeah, true 4K. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, man, it's not really doing 4K. But I know for a fact YouTube doesn't allow you to do 4K on your phone. Like, it doesn't allow it to stream at that level.